Hello, today's lesson is simplifying algebraic expressions. We're going to touch on this today, get to know some vocabulary, and then we're going to take a quiz at the end of the day from uh, evaluating expressions, distributive property, and combining like terms on a low level. Next week, we're going to dig a little deeper into this. So, have paper, pencil ready. There's going to be notes to take and practice to do. We're not doing practice in class because I want to leave you time at the end of class for the quiz. So we're going to practice as we go through this. Today, we're going to simplify algebraic expressions by combining like terms. And expressions, remember, there's no equal sign to it. So we're going to simplify them. If there's something called 5 terms and we're going to get it down to 2 terms. That's how you simplify. You clean things up. Okay, here's some vocabulary. When addition or subtraction signs separate an algebraic expression into parts, each part is called a term. I would have you look down here to see what terms are. The 3 terms, negative 4x, 12, and x. Those are all terms. They're separated by addition or subtraction signs. Again, I'm going to keep on going. You need to pause if you need to write something down. Like terms are when the variables, which are the letters, the variables are to the same power or exponent. When it says power, it means exponent. So if you look down here, negative 4x and x are like terms because they have the same variable to the same power. There is no exponent. The exponent would be 1. We don't write it down when it's 1. Go back up here to the paragraph. 3x squared and negative second x squared are like terms because it has the same variable. We don't look at the coefficient. We don't look at this number. We look at the x squared. Because it has the same variable and the same power, they're like terms. 8xy squared and 12xy squared. Again, we're not looking at the 8 and 12, we're looking at the xy squared. Has the same variables and y to the second power, xy to the second power. They are like terms. 8xy squared and 12xy squared. But 10x squared z and 22xz squared are not like terms because the x carries a square on this one and the z has a square on this one. So again, get in your mind what like terms are and they're not like terms because we're going to be combining like terms. Okay. By the way, this is called a constant. It has no variable with it, so it's called a constant because it doesn't change. Variable, whatever that x is, that's why this varies. So that's why it's called a variable. It's called a constant because it doesn't have a variable and it's always going to be 12. Coefficient, the number multiplied to the variable of an algebraic expression. 3 is the coefficient of 3x. Negative 7x squared, the coefficient is negative 7. 3x, 3 is the coefficient. Negative 5xy, negative 5 is the coefficient. So again, we need to be able to speak the same language. Know what the coefficient is when we talk about coefficients. The constant, a term without the variable. And in the example, 12 is a constant and has no variable or letter attached. Okay, here's a little practice. Pause the video. 3 of these statements are true. It's going to be on the quiz today. I'm going to give you a couple of these to practice. 3 of these statements are true. Pause, identify the 3 that are true. Okay, here's your answer. Go ahead and hit play. Here's your answer. 9 is a constant. 4v is 4 is a coefficient. 4v is a term. 3u and 5u are like terms. They are because the variable u and there's no exponent with either one, so they're like terms. 4v is a term. We talked about that already. It's not a coefficient. 4v is a term. 4v is a factor. Don't even know what that would mean. And none of these are true. Obviously, that's not the case. Okay, we're going to do one more of these. Pause it again. 3 of them are correct. Find the 3 that are correct. Welcome back. 9b is a coefficient. No, 9 is a coefficient. 9b is a term. Okay? Actually, it's down here. 6a and 5a are like terms, and that is true because the variable a, and neither one have exponents, so they're like terms. 2 is a constant, and no variable attached, therefore it's a constant. 9b is a factor. Once again, I guess they want to put 1 in there. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Pause the video to identify these terms. The terms. There's 4 terms on this problem here. Go ahead and identify them. Okay, 3x2, -10, -3x. When we read this, it's 3x plus 2 minus 10 minus 3x. When we read it, we say minus minus. But if we pull these out individually, 3x is a term. If positive 2 is a term, we don't put the positive there, then this minus 10 really is -10. And this minus 3x becomes -3x when we pull them out by itself. Those are the terms of that expression. There's 4 terms. And again, remember, terms are separated by addition and subtraction signs. Pause the video to identify the like terms. Okay, hopefully you have this. We're back. 3x and -3x are like terms because, again, they have the x with no exponent. And 2 and -10, you might not think of those, but constants. Constants are also like terms. If they have no variable at all, then we're going to go ahead and, when we simplify these, we're going to go ahead and put 2 minus, well, anyway, you'll see as we get to it. Those are the like terms. Now we're going to simplify this expression by combining like terms. Like I said, that's what we're getting to. So go ahead and do that. What do you think it's going to be? And that's where we're going to move to the dot camera. And we're going to put that problem on here. So let me X out of this. And we're going to try. I got to figure out how to do that. Be right back with you. Okay, I figured out how to do it. I have to go through Zoom. So I'll share my screen. And we're going to cheat this way. Okay. So we're back. Let me get rid of this. And we said the original problem. The original problem was 3x plus 2 minus 10 minus 3x. We're going to combine those like terms. Let me go back here. Share. Boom. Got it. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Okay. We identified the like terms as 3x and minus 3x. And we could identify the like terms as plus 2 and 9 minus 10. So you might put them together. Might rewrite it, put it together. You don't have to. It's an idea. But you can see that 3x minus x equals, I end up with no x's. So I'll put 0 x's down, but we're not going to keep that because we're simplifying it. And then you have to know how to do 2 minus 10. Again, this goes back to integers. I'll say it again. Desmos.com. If you don't know how to do it, if you don't know how to do add, subtract integers, use the calculator. 2 minus 10 would be minus 8. So when I combine like terms, the 0 x's, they're going to cancel out. I don't count 0 x's. I'm not going to put that down. What we're wanting to do is simplify it. So the simplified answer to that problem would be -8. When I combine like terms, it's going to be -8. Okay, now I'm going to give you some problems. You're going to start easy. 3t, you need to take your piece of paper, pause, and do it. 3t plus 6t. Again, you're pausing. I'm going to keep on moving. 3t plus 6t, well, they're both like terms. 3 plus 6, I just add the coefficients together, and I end up with 9t's. And that's my answer. That's simplified. Simplify. I had 2 terms. Now I have 1 term. That's all simplify would indicate. I'm making it more simple. 4r plus r plus 1r. Again, I have like terms. Remember, r, no exponents, so r is a like terms. 4r plus 1r. Simplified is 5r. Remember, you need to be pausing these. You need to be pausing the video. 7f minus 2f. Like terms. I look at the coefficients. If I have 7f's, and let me write that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7f's. And I want to subtract 2 of them. I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 minus 2, 5f's. That's all we're doing. Don't make this harder than it is right now. Okay, let's move on to a little harder one. 8K, I'm going to put a couple down here. You can work at your speed. 8K plus 3 plus 4K. And let's put 7M minus 5M minus 6. Again, pause to do both those problems, please. Okay, we're back. 8K and 4K. You can rewrite them where they're next to each other. It's your call how you want to do that. Probably while you're getting started, it would be good to rewrite it. 8K plus 4K plus 3. The problem with rewriting is make sure you rewrite it with the right subtraction, addition signs, and everything's the same. That's where you run into potential issues. I got 8K plus 4K. Well, that would be 12Ks. And then there's nothing else to go with the 3. I can't simplify, so 12K plus 3. And that is simplified. Again, in simplified, we went from 3 terms. Now we're down to 2 terms. So hopefully you understand what the word simplified means. We're making things less. Here, the terms are already together, the like terms, 7M, 5M. So 7M minus 5M is 2M. The constant 6 has no other constant to do anything with, so it's just minus 6. 2M minus 6. Okay, I'm pausing there for you to have a moment to think. Put 2 more problems down here. 7P minus 1 minus 9P plus 5. Go ahead and do that. We'll just put 1 problem down right now. So again, pause. Come on back. Okay. I identify the P's. So that means I have 7P minus 9P minus 1 plus 5. Probably the safest way to do it right now is go ahead and put them in order like that. Now I got my terms together. 7P minus 9P. Well, 7 minus 9. And again, hopefully you recognize that as negative 2P. Negative 2P. Now I've got a negative 1 plus 5. Well, again, don't forget decimals. Don't forget calculator. Negative 1 plus 5 is plus 4. So when you get done, it's negative 2P plus 4. One more like this. Let's go with negative B minus 3B plus 8B plus 4. We're going to start with 4 terms, and when we get done, we're going to have 2 terms. Go. Okay, I know that's a negative 1, by the way. You don't necessarily put the 1 there, but I'll put it there for you so you see it. It's negative 1 minus 3. Negative 1 minus 3, well, that would be negative 4B plus 8B plus 4. Okay, so I got it from 4 terms down to 3 terms. Oh, look, I got like terms, B and B. Negative 4 plus 4, negative 4B plus 8B is positive 4B. That's it. You can't simplify it further than that. Not right now. So if you can do it to that level, you're good right now. We're going to up this a little bit as time goes along, but for today's quiz, if you can do this, you're fine on that part. Which takes me to reviewing for today's quiz. You're going to have a couple problems like this, combining like terms. You're going to have that problem that I showed you on the first part of the video where you have to identify the constant, the boxes. I got that from Alex. That's where it's going to be, is the quiz is going to be on Alex. So you have that. Now, what I need for this next part is we evaluated. Remember, we evaluated expressions. And to evaluate expressions, all that means is I'm going to have D plus 7C. And where C equals 8 and D equals 9. And remember what we do here? We put parentheses for the variables. Then we fill in, it says C is 8, so I'm going to put 8 over here. D is 9, I'll put 9 over here. Order of operations says there's an addition and a multiplication problem. Order of operations, you might want to write that down. PEMDAS, that we multiply and divide before we add and subtract. We multiply and divide. We do parentheses, but there are no parentheses here. Again, don't look at these. The parentheses they're talking about here are the ones that group things. These are parentheses that you put in place so you can put numbers in them. So I rewrite this as 9 plus 7 times 8 is 56. 9 plus 56 is 65. So my answer to that problem would have been 65. Now I'm going to leave open the explanation. So if this isn't good enough for you, you can get in and use explanations for it as well. Use your notes. You really need to do well on this quiz. Okay, you're going to have one like this. Almost didn't put it in there, but we did it enough that you should be able to do it. For x equal to 14 and z equal to 6. And since I'm going over it with you, remember we talked about it last week. When you have a fraction like this, we take care of the numerator, we take care of the denominator, then we simplify the fraction. So we're going to put parentheses. For those of you trying to not put parentheses, then you're hurting yourself potentially, and you should not do that. Okay, we got parentheses. Now we fill in 14 where x would have been. We fill in 6. We fill in 14 where x would have been, and we fill in 6 for z. Now we don't have algebra anymore. We just have an equation, well, not an expression with numerical expression. This becomes, see if I can get it out over there a little more. There we go. This becomes 14 plus 6 squared. That's not 12, that's 36. And remember, order of operations says I do exponents before I add or multiply. So in this case, I'm not going to add first, I'm going to do the exponents. Likewise, since I'm taking care of the denominator on its own, I can rewrite 14 minus 2 times 6. I'm multiplying on the bottom. And remember, I'm doing the bottom separate from the top, so I do order of operations on the bottom, order of operations on the top. 2 times 6 is 12. Really important you remember that bring that subtraction down as you go through. I made that mistake this week a couple times. So you got 14 plus 36 is 50. 14 minus 12 is 2. And it wants to simplify, so 50 divided by 2, or 50 halves, equals 25. The final answer would be 25. Again, giving you problems like these so that you remember. That was from last week. One more thing for this week. Do you remember how to do this? I hope. Because we're going to combine this with what we did today. Distributed property. Remember 2 times V plus 2 times 3 is 6. So 2V plus 6. Or you could have something like this. -4 times the quantity of -5V minus X plus 3. We take it one at a time. -4 times -5. Remember, when we read this as a sentence, we read that as -5V minus X plus 3. But when we're separating it out by terms, now I can call these terms. That's -5V, that's -X, and that's a +3. We're going to multiply this number by each one of these terms. So -4 times -5V is positive 20V. Because a negative times a negative, write that note down to yourself. A negative times a negative equals a positive. We got -4 times -X. Well, negative times a negative is a positive, and then 4X. Then we got a -4 times a +3. A negative times a positive always equals a negative. So again, you can use your calculator for it or know that. -4 times +3 would be -12. It's -12, but when we put it back in the sentence and read that answer, it'd be 20V plus 4X minus 12. That's what's on the quiz today. I've covered everything we have on it. Distributed property, evaluating expressions, combining like terms. What I need you to do at this point is go to Alex and start working on the quiz. If you have any questions, I guess Miss Gilbert and well, if she's here on Thursday, you can stop and ask me before you start the quiz. Once you start the quiz, I'm not going to help you on that. So if you have any questions, ask me before you start it. If you have any questions while you're on the quiz, you can go to explanations and see how they show how to do it, and then do it again. You get to take this quiz unlimited times until Sunday night. So if you get a grade you don't like, redo it. That's it for me. Have a wonderful quiz time. Oh, sorry you have to see that. And I will see you Monday or Tuesday. Well, no, we don't have class Monday. I will see you either Tuesday or Wednesday. Get the quiz done. Thank you. Bye.